When experts talk about bonding, they're referring to the intense attachment that you develop with your baby. It's the feeling that makes you want to shower them with love and affection or throw yourself in front of a speeding truck to protect them. For some parents, this takes place within the first few days or even minutes of birth. For others, it may take a little longer. A local nonprofit organization has a course coming up for new parents designed to strengthen that bond. All the details are coming up on Polk Place. Hello and welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host today, Dion Spires. In studio today from Heartland for Children, we have Chase Weber. He's the Prevention Education Specialist at Heartland for Children.
Hey, good to be with you, Dion.
How are you doing today, Chase?
We're doing great. Thanks for having us. We always enjoy being here with you guys. So.
Yeah, of course. You guys always have great information to provide for the public, so we love having you here to get your message out.
Yeah, well, thanks.
And today's topic is pretty interesting. It's something I've never heard of before, so I'm excited to talk to you about it. Infant massage.
Yeah.
Tell me what infant massage is, because I feel like it's a topic that a lot of people probably haven't heard of.
Yeah, well, the first time you hear it, if you're like a lot of people, you think of what we think of as a spa experience,
right,
but for babies.
Yeah.
And it's not that at all. It's what I like to say, it's a new thing that's coming around that's been around for thousands of years, and people just, a lot of people already do it and they just don't realize what they're doing, but it's just the act of implementing certain techniques with your baby that just help stimulate them, develop certain functions, and then also relieve stress and help relax them. And it's just the act of the parent or the caregiver just bonding with the baby and using certain massage techniques to just really create an atmosphere of nurturing and attachment between them and their infant.
Mm-hmm. And this is all kind of offered within different classes that you guys are offering at different locations. And it's not just for parents or even just brand new parents. Who are you offering these classes to?
Well, really, these classes are for anybody. We encourage anybody that deals with or cares for infants to attend the classes, whether it's at a daycare center, a grandparent, a babysitter. It doesn't matter who it is. The classes are open to anybody, and even expecting parents. We strongly recommend expecting parents to come, mothers and fathers, to attend the class, so that once the baby is born, those first few days in the hospital, they already know how to implement these techniques and start that bonding process really, really early in that baby's life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you have an expecting parent, I saw on your website that you guys offer it to them, they don't have a baby to implement these on. So how do you go about helping those parents learn these types of techniques and whatnot?
Well, it's kind of fun doing that. The classes are pretty cool because if you do have an infant, we ask you to bring the infant. So we try to do them at times that are, either in the morning after they wake up from a nap or something, or in the evening a little bit before bedtime. So the infants are, awake, and we're not trying to interfere with nap times. But we ask caregivers or whoever to bring their infants. But what we also do for expecting parents, or let's say a mother and a father comes and they only have one infant, we actually have, and I have a room full of little baby dolls that are, life size, roughly newborn a little bit, the first few months of life size. And as we're teaching the techniques, the parent would use one of those dolls just like if it were their own child or something like that, and practice the techniques on those dolls. And so as an instructor, we have a lot of instructors throughout our community that help us with this, but as an instructor, I never actually massage an infant. It's not something that you just bring them and then, the instructor would do. What the instructor does is actually use a doll themselves and just kind of models what those strokes and what those techniques look like, so that the parents can imitate them on either their doll or their infant. So we have lots of dolls available for all of our classes. So if expecting parents, or if both parents want to come to a class with one infant, both of them are being able to do something and are participating in the class.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said that it's not your typical, like what you'd think of as a massage. What kind of like different types of touches and motions or whatever, like what do you guys use that benefits the child, and what kind of benefits does it have specifically?
Yeah, well, when you and I go to the spa, my wife loves to, and I actually, for Father's Day, she gave me a facial and a massage and stuff, so I like the spa just as much as anybody.
Right.
One thing we don't like at the spa is talking. We like the quiet and the atmosphere. Well, here we encourage the communication between the caregiver and the infant throughout the process, and encourage the talking and the eye-to-eye contact. So while the strokes are going on, you're engaged with the infant. We strongly encourage that. But the strokes we do are all to improve circulation, the legs and the arms, and we do it in a certain method. And we're all certified through what's called Loving Touch organization, and they're based out of Oregon. And we have to maintain certification and recertify. So it's actually a massage certification, infant massage certification. And what it does is it teaches us strokes and the orders of strokes to really make sure that we are doing it the right way. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but what we do is we start with the legs and just kind of pull circulation through the legs, and then do some of the relaxing techniques for the muscles, and then we always finish with stretching a little bit for the legs, and just different strokes that help the baby understand when you're touching, and forget what it's called, but when I don't even know if there's a word for it, but they just learn how to the parts of their body that are new to them, and so when you're touching them, how to learn those parts, and it really helps them physically. The stimulation between different parts of their body, and then the stretching helps their flexibility and their coordination, and we really help them develop their midline orientation, and so all the different strokes that we do are intentional and beneficial, and the benefits are amazing for the baby. With the circulation, it improves colic, and helps relieve stress and gas, and helps the baby learn how to relax and to kind of self-regulate so that they don't get, overly stressed out. And, the types of things that when you have a baby are kind of really frustrating for a parent, when the baby's just, you can't figure out what's going on.
Right.
This helps with some of that. Yeah, this helps relieve some of that, and to soothe them, and just really help them to feel comfortable, to where eventually a few months down the road they actually really enjoy it and will ask for it, and things like that. Yeah, it's really, really cool. But all the strokes are intentional to help develop certain parts of their bodies and help soothe certain things. When we're doing the strokes on the stomach, we do them in a certain order to help relieve that colic if they're gassy or anything like that. So, yeah, it's really cool to watch parents engage and interact with their babies.
Yeah, and it's definitely a lot of physical and emotional benefits there, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Well, the benefits for the babies are incredible, but they're also really good for the caregiver. And that's what I really like, is what it brings for the caregiver, and just the confidence that it brings in helping, especially new parents or new grandparents that haven't interacted with infants in a long time.
Right.
Just helps give them a confidence to take care of their baby, to know that they're bonding with them and attaching with them, and know that they can help their baby relieve some of that stress and relieve some of that colic. So, and then it helps the adult relax too. It helps the caregiver kind of relax. And with my son, we always did it at the end of the day. So no matter what we had going on through the day, how stressful the day was, we had a few minutes to just really sit down with our son and just spend some time and help him relax and help us relax, and just really spend some, intimate bonding time together. And it was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw on your website something that I thought was interesting, and I think a lot of parents who are in a situation with a special needs older child would be interested to know. Your website says that there's benefits in it for an older special needs child too. How does that work with? Is it them doing it for the infant, and how does that benefit them?
Well, actually, so just like we would an infant, if an older child that may not be as physically developed or as mentally developed, a lot of the same benefits that infants receive, that older child with the special needs will receive as well, as far as the really helping them to understand a midline orientation that maybe they haven't been able to figure out before. One of the first clients that I had through doing one of these classes was a little boy with Down syndrome, and so just to watch him, throughout this, and the mom doing this with him, and I mean, he was pretty young, but to just watch how he kind of, for the first time all day, would just kind of relax, and it seemed like he was really enjoying what was happening and was enjoying the class. And when I talked to her later, it was something that they continued to do, and she saw improvements as far as his, how elevated he got and how stressed he got, and just she communicated to me that the improvements she attributed to the massage that she was doing and just taking those few minutes every day with him to just kind of help him relax and relieve some stress, and physically to help him understand his body a little bit better. So yeah, it's I mean, again, it's been around for thousands of years, and it's in other countries they still use it. That's all the parents have to bond and attach with their babies, is that physical touch. So we just we see the benefit of it, and with not just infants, but the older children with the special needs, or even just older children. A lot of times when you start with them as an infant, they want to keep going later on, so till it's not cool anymore. So so it's good. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits for babies, caregivers, those special needs children. I mean everybody benefits from it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting because you said that when you have an infant, it's one of the most stressful things to not necessarily know what's upsetting them, and if this can help that with someone who can't really express what's bothering them, then that's a big difference for the parents for sure.
Absolutely.
And
I would say just one of the success stories with that is it was actually a friend of ours who, and this was their second child, little girl, and the girl was having some digestive issues and things, and the doctor was monitoring it, and she'd go anywhere between 4 and 7 days without using the bathroom.
Right.
And so I just asked her to come to a class, and I told her it might help, and she did, and she started using these techniques with her little girl. And so she did it for a couple days. Well, on the second day, she called me the next morning, and she said, "This is the first time my little girl's woken up with a poopy diaper." Wow. And I said, "Cool." And she said, "No, really, like this is the first time that she's done that, and I think the massage is helping." So then she called me the next day, and she did it again. And wow. So after the baby going, between 4 and 7 days consistently without using the bathroom, now she was starting to do it every day because the massage was working. It was helping her digestive system learn how to move the things, through the digestive system like it's supposed to. So it was really cool. I mean, just little benefits like that. And then once that started happening, the discomfort that the baby was feeling started to go away. And so the crying and the screaming without being able to know what was going on went away. And so then the mom, who this was her second child, all of a sudden her stress started being lowered because she had found something that, helped her baby to bring her comfort and helped relieve what was bothering her. So.
For sure. And you told me before we started talking on camera that you had a son recently, and you said that you have done it yourself, right? You participated
absolutely.
In it, so you're a strong advocate for it from personal experience?
Absolutely. I'm a huge advocate for fathers to do this. Because I'd heard a lot of my friends had kids before we did, and they would tell me, and you always hear the stories of dads really don't know what to do, especially those first couple months where it's mom's feeding the baby and changing the diapers, and you hear all the stories of dads, the dad jokes and things like that, and so I didn't want to be the butt of a dad joke, so I was glad that I knew something, and I had already received the certification to be an instructor, so I'd already taught people. And I didn't want to teach people and not use it. So as soon as my son was born in the hospital, it just gave me something to do. And what it really did was allowed my wife to rest and take a nap and to kind of have some of her alone time while we were still in the hospital, while I spent some time with my son and just started these strokes really really easily and gently while he was a newborn, while we were still in the hospital. But it was something that as we went on, he really enjoyed. Now I can't get him to sit still for it, but he's still, every now and then he'll come and he'll just kind of lay down and stick his foot up in the air, and so I know that's him saying, okay, so I'll kind of do it a little minute, and then he gets up and runs off.
away.
So, yeah, but it's kind of fun. But yeah, it was something that I strongly advocate for any parent or caregiver, but especially for dads to have something to do, and the confidence that it brought for me to know that I'm providing for my son. Helping to relax him and to bring him comfort, and so he's not just always associating mom with the comforting and the nurturing and the stuff, but it's something that as dads we're able to give to them as well, and just the confidence and that it brought for me to be able to do that. And so I made a lot of my friends that were dads go through it. I talked to them into coming to class, and they did, and they've used it and they liked it. Yeah, they thought it was great. I mean, they never knew that they could, especially with their sons, never knew that they could have that nurturing and that soft and that intimate moment with their sons that we just don't hear about in society very often. So,
and that's great that you can say that on the air, because I feel like even when I read infant massage classes, I immediately thought that's kind of a mom thing. But to hear someone who went through it say, like, this is important for dads too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great to get the message out about that.
Yeah.
And it's great that you guys brought it to Polk County. You said that's been around for thousands of years, but like I said, a lot of people don't realize it. Where are you guys offering classes at, and when are they?
Well, what's cool, we've kind of made a lot of effort to get it, more, to get the knowledge out there and just make people more aware of it in Polk County. But it's been offered in some places for a while. But one thing that we have done is we have made sure to offer a class at least once a month, and we do that at Family Fundamentals. It's the third Thursday every month, and it's from 9 to 11 a.m. in the morning, the third Thursday, and that's ongoing, and that's so that we always know there's at least one class being offered. And so that's in Lakeland, Family Fundamentals, third Thursday, 9 to 11 in the morning. But we also know there's a lot of other classes going on. Winter Haven Women's Center, who is one of the instructors that we kind of reached out to them, and they developed an interest in it, and we had her certified, and so they offer a class. They do it about quarterly, so they have a couple more left this year that they're going to be doing. They do theirs in the evenings, so they did that because we do ours in the morning, so they wanted to have a different option for people to do, and they just kind of consider that as part of their childbirth education classes, so people can go on to their website and register. There's other agencies in town, when I say agencies, birthing centers, things like that offer classes pretty regularly. But we have a listing of all the classes on our website. I keep that up to date, make sure I know of when those classes are being offered, and put them on our website so people can visit our website and find out when those classes are taking place.
Awesome. And if someone is interested, is there a registration fee or anything like that, or do they just go to your website and find out where it's at and show up?
Some of the classes are free. Some of them there is a small registration fee. Our website has all of that information. A lot of the ones that are free are because they've just committed to providing those materials and resources. The ones that there's a registration cost, it's a very small cost, and that's just to cover some of the materials that you get. We send everybody with a little booklet of the strokes to help them remember, the strokes and what order to do them in and things like that. So the classes that are out there that have a small charge, it's just to cover the cost of those materials.
Of course, you have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this is a great service that you're offering. It's definitely going to help a lot of relationships, I'm sure. And I'm so glad that you came on air to talk about it today. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having us. We're excited about it. We think it's a really good way to just help. One thing I didn't mention about the classes is we've seen a lot of parents come and build relationships with each other. So just kind of helping to develop the social connections that are out there that are so important to us raising children. They say it takes a village, and sometimes it feels like it takes a lot more than just a village. So it's important for to have those relationships with other parents that are in the same season of life. So we're excited about it, and we thank you guys for helping us to get some of that information out.
Of course. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Infant massage is a tradition within many ancient cultures that has been rediscovered and adapted to the Western world. Infant massage is a great way to bond with your baby and one of the most natural and pleasant methods of providing early nurturing contact as you begin a lifelong relationship. Numerous studies have shown many developmental benefits for babies and caregivers of positive contact as part of a baby's early life. Each course is taught by a certified infant massage instructor. Instructors are certified through the International Loving Touch Foundation. Courses are scheduled for the third Thursday of each month at Family Fundamentals, 1021 Lakeland Hills Boulevard in Lakeland from 9 to 11 a.m. and at Winter Haven Women's Hospital. For cost and other information, give Heartland for Children a call at 863-519-8900, extension 294, or look them up on the web at heartlandforchildren.org/infant massage.